So hello everyone. I've recently built an independent connector on regular expression matching, and I'll go through this demo in the next few minutes. So first, a brief introduction on myself. So my name is Mitanshu. I work for Schlumberger as a digital cell lead, and I've worked across 3 different countries. And only last weekend, I've relocated to the US. We have a equivalent of a champions program called Special Agent Program, and I'm recognized as a Special Agent 018 within Schlumberger. I am also I've contributed on the Power Users forums, and I was awarded Super User 2022 Season 1, and also I have been working through some of my certifications. Now, why do we need this RegEx matching in Power Automate? So I had a use case. But what I saw was out of the box, this functionality is only available within Power Apps. And apologies if it is there in Power Automate, it's just that I was not able to find one. So there was I couldn't find any out of box solution in Power Automate. So I came across independent connector, and that came to my rescue in that particular situation. So it was it's a simple RegEx independent publisher, which lets you specify your pattern, and it would give you whether there is a match found or not. So it extends the capabilities that you have within Power Automate. There can be multiple use cases where you want to validate your end user data input. So for instance, if you got legacy data in a spreadsheet that you want to port over to Dataverse or to SharePoint, but you want to check whether user input is good, or you're having some input done through Microsoft Form, where again you cannot have super powerful client-side validation, so you're doing it through Power Automate before entering it into your database. This particular connector, it returns Boolean true or false if the input string matches the regular expression. There are multiple predefined expressions in here. However, a developer can provide their own custom regular expression. So you don't have to use any of the pre-built. You get a generic one where you specify your own regular expression and go with it. So demo time. So what we'll do is we'll have a trigger for the demo purposes as a manual trigger, and I have got a few input strings like input email. So this would be a end user entering a email address. Again, could be through a Microsoft Form, Excel spreadsheet, or any other input sources. We will also create an action where our developer will provide a regex pattern, and we will try to match it as well. So I choose my next operation under regex. And so the first one we wanted to check was whether an email is valid or not. So check for valid email format. Now this, again, regex by nature, it does not check whether an email ID exists or not. It is just going to tell you whether it looks like an email address, whether formatting or the semantics of it is that of an email address. So over here, we would get the user input, so input from the user. Another one that we want to try as part of the demo would be the custom expression. So specified pattern. So over here, your developer can provide the pattern, which we would be taking from our trigger. And the text would be input request. So once we trigger the flow, we would provide email and the pattern and the request, and we would check whether they have matched or not. And just to summarize to see what output we are getting, I'll create a compose label. So email. And so check for the valid email format, match found yes or no would be there. So this would be like my summary. And for custom pattern, true or false. So that's it. It's a simple flow giving a demo of 2 different actions, which is available within this connector. So input email, I would say demo at regex pattern. So let's say we want A to Z up to 3 digits, and that is our pattern. And the request that we are checking it against is say 1, 2, 3. So for the email, we are expecting it to come as true, and for the regex pattern, we are expecting it to say it hasn't found the match. So we are expecting it to say false over here. So if I went to the summary, so it was telling me that yes, email was found, but the custom pattern was false because 1 to 3 did not match the A to Z up to 3 digits. So that is it, right? It's a pretty straightforward, very simple connector that lets you provide your own regular expression or pick up one of the inbuilt ones and validate your end user input before you use that data into any of your subsequent business operations. That is all.
Awesome, Minshu. That is really cool because I got to tell you, RegEx is like kryptonite to some of the best developers in the world, right? Being able to utilize a connector like this to make it so simple is really, really fantastic. So thank you for sharing that. Very, very cool. Links to the independent publisher connector and in the GitHub, the docs and GitHub are in the chat. So definitely take a look at that, everyone, if you're interested.